air on our blades, make sure that the recovery tank is clean, we have enough water before we operate the machine, make sure all the controls are functioning. If there's something going on the machine, it will give you a reading that something's going on with the machine that's not functioning. So I will start from the front. So you put water here. The only thing we put on the machine was plain water.
Yeah.
And you have a little icon here that will let you know temperature water, no chemical. Okay, no chemical because this machine produces soap. So that's the ECH2O. What that means is, let me open this up. This black box right here that you see, it's producing soap. So what that black box does is separates acidic and alkaline from water. So once it goes to the surface, it starts emulsifying, and it's kind of like a magnetic water. So any dirt that's on the surface it will stick to that water. So after a minute and a half, it's being recovered and goes into the recovery tank. The molecules stick back together and it becomes water. So basically, it's kind of like a green machine. Green, that you're not using harsh chemicals, and you're not going to be dulling your floors or hazing your floors. You still have the same shine, because you don't want to use anything too aggressive as a cleaner, because you're going to be softening those floor finishes.
All we do is add water at all times.
Just add water, that's it. The machine has a switch back here that I will show you in a few minutes where the switch is, and always have that switch on. And I'll talk about that switch after. Now that I have a pad right here, there's a regular pad, like this one, and the darker the color, the rougher the pad. So you have a white one, it's kind of like mom. The red one is more like a little, give you a little grip, so you just want to scrub. Then there's the blue, green, and black. The other pad that you see over there with the Velcro on it, that's the pad that you will be using when you're going to be stripping. But you can strip with this machine. Floors like this that have floors on it. And that's when you will use this pad. With that SPP pad, that's a really thin pad. And on that pad, you will do approximately like 5,000 square feet per side. And then just pitch it right away.
That Velcro side.
That goes on this, because if I put that pad, because you need a padding.
Yeah.
When this goes on the floor, see, it doesn't move. It doesn't hold like this. So that's where you're going to be using this pad. So it can stick, so you put it on. But this only be used when you're ready to be stripping.
And you're only going to be doing the stripping pads during the summer. 95% of the time, this red pad's going to be used to clean.
So is that a high pro or is it like a high pro?
It's called an EPP.
Okay, now let me ask you this question. That pad that you just put on there, is that for wood floors and wood floors? Like a wood floor pad, I mean.
The maroon pad, the one we just showed,
Right.
we'll discuss that later.
So notice that there's a little graphic teeth underneath this.
Yeah, okay. Got ridges like this.
So you always want to have a pad on the machine even though you're using it for protection of these teeth. It's kind of like when you have a floor furniture. If you don't have a pad on it, and somebody drops the head and just starts smashing the teeth, and then this pad is not going to crack at all. So even though you could have an old pad, just stick it on, make sure you have something on there. Yeah, that should protect it. Now that I have it open, you have to do maintenance on these batteries, but the benefit on this particular unit that you don't have to do that. This machine has a reservoir right here that you have to put distilled water on it. Right now it's empty, so it's letting you know that you need to put distilled water. Just fill it up to here.
Still water, meaning plain water?
No, it's a,
That's what you get at the store, say this.
Any supermarket, distilled.
Yeah, just still.
you open that, has a little floater down there. So if you notice on the back of the machine right now, it's letting me know that my reservoir is empty. So when you see that little light icon turn on, that's letting you know that this is low, and you will still be able to operate the unit, and it's gonna only give you like about 10 hours.
Once that light start coming on.
Yeah, see, like right now it's on, it's gonna allow me to scrub an area for 10 hours max. And then after that, the machine will shut off.
Okay.
Because it's kind of like a protection, because it's protecting the,
These batteries here require water, the distilled water. Before you used to have to pull caps up
caps.
and pour it in. Now the system allows this to draw right into the battery, so you never have to touch the
so
battery.
the machine automatically would refill the water level on the battery.
But you have to refill this. Kind of like the reservoir on your car. If you use your windshield wipers, you want to clean them. Nothing comes out. Well, the difference is if nothing comes out, in 10 hours the machine's going to shut down because it doesn't want to ruin the batteries.
The runtime on the machine, it's about 3 to 4 hours on a full charge, and it takes double amount for the machine to be fully charged. So if you used it for an hour and you want to plug it in, I do not recommend. Use it at least 2 hours, and then you're okay to plug it in.
Now, coming into the backside here, you'll notice, come on over here everybody, there are lights. Jose, can you go with those lights on?
Yeah, you have your little light icons right here. So these lights will start dissipating. The machine,
battery's going down low.
yeah, the machine is a smart machine, so it will use 80% of the charge. The 20% remaining will allow you, say you were on the 4th floor, you could bring it down to a charging station. But the benefit that you have on this machine, because you have a built-in charger, so you can plug it anywhere. But if you have to bring it down to a certain location, it will allow you to bring it down, because the head will raise up. That will let you know it doesn't have enough juice to turn on those motors.
So it
The
raises by
vacuum will
itself?
still work. Yeah, it will raise by itself because it's automatic. So the vacuum will still work because you will say you were working in an area, it will allow you to pick up that remaining water you had on the floor. Then the vacuum will shut off. So that's letting you know, hey, that's it. I don't have enough juice. It's time for you to charge me up. Okay.
So if we use it for 2 hours, we charge it for 4 hours?
It would take double amount. So if you used it for 4 hours, it would take
8 hours.
8 hours.
Now, one of the things too, as you guys start to use this machine, it only has a certain number of cycles. Every time you plug it into the battery, that's a cycle. That's lowering the amount the battery is going to be used long term. So once you determine how long you're going to use it, Jose mentioned something earlier. If I only use it for an hour, I'm only going to use it for an hour tomorrow. Don't charge it until this gets down closer to the yellow one. I'm sorry, the orange one.
Yeah.
Because the least we charge it, the longer the battery lasts. Now, if I use it 3 hours and it gets down to 1, and I know I have to use it 3 hours tomorrow, charge it. Does that make sense? Kind of like your cell phone. However much I'm going to use it for the next day is going to determine whether or not it's charged. Make sense?
Now,
Quick question.
yes.
What if someone puts regular water in the distilled water?
Because regular water has a lot of minerals in it. So the
It won't-
acid,
Real bad thing.
it's not going to harm it. You're better off if you put tap water. But
Well, your distilled water, because of the lack of minerals, the batteries are going to function better. So you want to have distilled. All it's going to do is make your batteries not work as well. Now, average, just so you know, average life of batteries is 3 years.
with the proper maintenance.
If
and,
you do
risk-
nothing, 1 year. You do a little bit, 2 years. Now, as long as you put water in it, you're servicing your batteries the best way possible. The next thing is charging it properly. 3 years is max. So in 3 years, hopefully, I need batteries. It's completely normal.
Yeah.
And they start wearing out slowly. It's not one day all of a sudden.
Okay, say we got it plugged up, right, and it's charging. When it get fully charged, will it automatically cut off, or do we
It
have to?
will automatically shut off even though you will hear a sound. It's just the motor of the
So you
charger.
can't
Just
overcharge it.
Say
No.
the battery decibels drop, the charger will kick in automatically, will charge the batteries again.
Yeah, it's a smart charger, just like your cell
Oh,
phone.
okay, yeah.
Any questions so far? Okay. that's where all the dirty water is gonna be collected. You have a really wide open space, a hygienic tank. So say you picked up some really nasty stuff, you'd be able to wipe it down or throw some disinfectant in there. And once you're not using the machine, make sure you have this open if you have the space so you can ventilate. Sometimes you have it closed and you had water, you drained it, and you didn't properly rinse it off, there's still moisture in there.
Right.
And that moisture is gonna, always moisture is gonna go up. So your back motor is right here. So that moisture might go in through the back motor. You might be able to damage your back motor. So,
And it's gonna smell.
and it's gonna smell, yes.
So do we clean that trap that you just
Correct.
took out?
You will clean this, if it gets dirty, clean it up, but make sure whoever's gonna operate the unit, before they operate the unit, open the tank, make sure you have a filter here. Because this filter protects your back motor, because any water that's here, it's splashing, because when you're operating the unit, it will be splashing all over, so water might be getting sucked up. So these ping pong balls, what they do, once water level is raising up, these ping pong balls get sucked up. So you will hear a higher pitch on the back motor. That's letting you know
Let you know it's full.
it's full. So if you have 22 gallons here, you have 25 gallons up here. You have extra 3 gallons that you could recover water if you had water laying somewhere. But it'll allow you, so once you're done with this, it's time to flush this one out.
And so right now, since it's new, we don't really need no the water in there, right?
Yeah.
Since it's
Yeah,
new.
right.
Right now, because we're gonna be using just plain water, but there will still be, once we do operate the machine right now, we might have residue behind
Right.
on the floors from existing soap that's on the floor. You might be able to put some, like a defoamer, so it can kill any
Oh,
foam
yeah,
that will
yeah,
be
yeah.
collecting in the recovery tank. We have a little hopper here,
Debris tray.
debris tray, that sits there. All the purpose for this is you have to dust it, but you will still find debris on the floor. So what this will do, it's going to prevent from the recovery tank clogging this hose, because you don't want to be sticking your hand in there when you have a full tank of dirty water. So that's what. So take this off, rinse it out, clean it out, stick it back. Any questions?
So if we have a flood, will that be able just to pick up that water?
Yes, you have 25 gallons of water.
So
Yes.
we don't have to have water in the bottom just to pick
No.
up the water? It's on-
As long as this is empty, you can use it as a wet dry. If you have somewhere, like you mentioned, flood somewhere, you can use it as a behind wet dry.
But we still have to have that pad underneath.
Yes, just have a pad.
Well,
Just
if you're
have-
using it as a wet dry, you're just gonna put the squeegee down.
Yeah, but we still gotta have a pad on there.
Yeah, so you always wanna have a pad on the
You know,
bottom.
you got a
teeth
pad,
cover.
it's got some,
Got them little teeth on there.
Teeth on it, you don't want to wear them down. You wear them down, the pad is not going to stick.
Yeah.
So,
And
like
then
I said, it's always open.
If not, you would have to replace. If not, you have to replace the face of.
Right. Always
This is your
open.
water level.
So we have here your squeegee. This is what's going to be collecting all the dirty water. This part goes in the back. I'll show you how to replace the squeegee